What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a topic that I wanted to get into today with you guys, so let's jump into it. All right, so today's topic is actually going to be about Bladebinge. And the reason I'm talking about this is because there's been some discussion with some friends of mine that have channels and as well as some friends of mine that are in the community. So I haven't checked out this video, but apparently there is a video out there talking about someone and their points on why they won't support Bladebinge. And I thought, well, instead of watching the video and trying to respond to that, I'd rather just talk about why I do support Bladebinge and why I think is actually something that is good for the community, a benefit to the community, both in that we have someone who's a part of the community that is operating a very dependable, reliable, and reputable business that you can have faith and confidence in working with. Now, should that ever change, I certainly will be one of the ones that lead the charge in changing that perspective. But what I like about it is the fact that you have somewhere that you can go specific to our community that is owned and operated by someone who is a part of the community, who I have spoken with, is just a genuine, nice, good person, and they really just want to make the community better through the product of Bladebinge. So if you're not familiar, Bladebinge is where you can go to and get an eBay-like experience. Instead of doing bids, you can do a buy it now, and they recently enhanced their website to do or best offers. So that is something that a seller can add to their auction in case they feel like, okay, I'm going to ask for as much as I can get back out of this purchase that I'm now trying to sell back out to minimize my loss. But maybe if it's a little high and someone can come close to that, I'm willing to hear that offer. So I think that's a really cool tool. It is useful. It is safe and secure. Your purchases and your sales are backed through Bladebinge. They take all the risk on their end, and there is a small fee for the seller, but that's understandable, right? They got to operate that website. That's really nice, very friendly, very easy to use, in my opinion. And there's got to be some sort of way that they can sustain that, and that's where those fees come in. Granted, the fee is high, I do understand, but it's not easy to operate all of this. I would imagine there's going to be a multitude of factors. I'm not going to try to get into that. I want to stick to why I feel like that is a very positive thing and a very good thing. Now, one of the points that were brought up to me that I did want to touch on is the fact that the biggest issue is that they pay influencers to promote their site. Well, I mean, the most simplest answer to that is all businesses pay to promote business, whether that be through influencers, whether they buy a commercial and run advertisement on commercial, whether they pay to be verified on social media to show that it's really them and promote. That's the way that businesses operate, and that's how they operate. For me, I've never received any kickback as far as pay to promote. I choose to work with the business because I like the business, I like what they offer, I like the people behind the business, and that's genuinely why I support the business. If I don't have personal good experience with them, then that would change, right? I wouldn't feel comfortable promoting that personally because I would want the same experiences that I am getting. And that's with all of my affiliate links. I do get excited to have affiliate links that I can use to help promote things that I like. There are some things out there that I like that don't offer that. Understandably, they're too small, or that's not in a place or position that they're in to be able to do that. And I totally get it, but it's great when it works out to where I can promote something and have an affiliate link associated with it, because in the end, that does help me in the channel, but I do my very best not to let that influence anything that I'm putting out to you guys. I am always going to be honest about what it is that I'm reviewing and what I'm looking at. All right, so an example of that is Chris Reeve Knives. They don't directly have any sort of affiliate program or affiliate link that you can use to promote them. Now, you can get affiliate links with stores that are authorized dealers that sell these, and that is great when it works out. But when I'm looking at the product, I'm looking at this product and telling you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. I recently did a video that I have not edited yet where I talked about how do I feel about the Umanzon years later after owning my first in comparison to some other models that I have in there. Another great example of that is going to be Berg's Blades. There's no direct affiliate links with Berg's Blades. I do like the person behind the product. I like the product. Not all of them. There's a couple of them that are not really for me or don't really work for me because of my large hands, but like the Alpha here is definitely one that I really like. I also really like the Sweeney, and those are models that I'm very excited about that made a good impression on me that I promote and share with you guys. So that's why I work with them. Again, same thing kind of like with the Umanzon here. I do have some stores that have affiliate links that I can promote, and when you use them, it helps the channel, but it's really not built around that. So a great example of where I promote and get zero kickback is going to be with Art Company. I really love the owner. I love that this is a handmade product that he makes, and I love to promote it because it works for me. I have the Rambler XL and the Quick Draw XL that work for me. It allows me to kind of carry my favorite loadout. I can put a secondary knife in here that is a decent size. You know, I can go smaller like some of these other ones in there, but allows me to drop it in the pocket and kind of really use it. So that's why I promote them. And then of course there's companies like Devo Knives. I am friends with Kevin. I like 90% of what he drops. Some of them are too small. There's been one or two that weren't really my flavor, but overall I love what he's about, right? Part of the community, taking in the feedback, wanting to deliver something that he's passionate about, that the community shares that same equal passion into about the product. So that is something that I really like. Another one is going to be Casey over at Tempest Knives, right? That's another company that I really like. I don't love all the designs, same thing here, but I would say about 90% of what he puts out I really do like, and he's concerned about they're both concerned about the quality of the product and the affordability, being able to have as many people be able to afford their designs and share in that same passion. So I think this is a space for me personally. Applied Weapon Tech, that's another one I do not have any affiliate links with, and they don't sell on any store, but quality product, love what they put out, love the consistency with the fit and finishes on there. And I've had an issue with one of mine in the past, and their customer service is equally really good. And I think that's something that's overlooked with Bladebinge, is when you reach out to them about an issue, excellent customer service. There's been a couple times that I've had to reach out to them because in their infancy, they didn't have everything ironed out, and I was asking for assistance on something, I was giving suggestions on something, and it's always very welcomed. So that is another reason why I promote. I focus on the people and the business, and do we share a commonality, right? If we do, this space benefits from as many people that are as passionate about what we like, and being in the community is always a good thing. That is something where it's going to have as much capacity as possible. It's going to allow this to be as big as possible, to have as many fellow EDCers out there as possible. It's always a positive thing. Now, when there's a bad experience or a bad thing, I'll make my comments on it and I'll move on. And there's even been instances where I've talked about a company. Kaiser is a great example where I had multiple bad experiences very early on. And when I reached out to them, it was a little bumpy trying to get it taken care of, but they did get me taken care of, and I do appreciate that. Civivi, there's been two instances where I've had to reach out to them about some issues, and they were very pleasant and responsive, and they were able to take care of the issue in what I would consider a timely time frame, considering that they're not an onshore company. So there's been times where I've reached out to companies and they've taken care of me, and I always try to be anonymous and not say I'm a YouTuber, I have a YouTube channel. I just want to see what the experience is like as a regular consumer. Not that I feel like I'm special because of the channel, but I don't want that to have an influence. So to me, I think it's kind of narrow-sighted when you try to exclude a company because you don't like one or two things that are subjective. And really, in my opinion, and only knowing that one point, there could be others to be fair. But if you're saying because they pay influencers to promote Bladebinge, all companies, whether they give free stickers, whether they pay to verify themselves, whether they grant vendors interviews to talk about their products and promote their products, all of them do this. And it's the only real viable way to spread word of mouth about your business. And I think it's a great thing to have that relationship. Now, I wouldn't want it to be done blindly, but in the instance of Bladebinge, great people behind the company. I would say that anyone that objects to them hasn't sat down and had a conversation with the person behind the company. They're just like you and me. They're a person. They have feelings. They're putting blood, sweat, and tears into what it is that they're doing, and they're passionate about it from a positive perspective, right? The motivation, all of this started back before they even had a website as a way to safely be able to promote what it is that you're selling on the secondary. And they've moved into the primary, but I think that there's a little room for them to kind of get better at that. I'd like to see more current, more relevant selections. They got a lot of old stagnant stuff out there, but that's tough. That's hard to do. You're managing trying to be a secondary market, and you're trying to manage being a vendor like Blade HQ, Knife Center, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, all of those, DLT, all of those companies out there that are primary first, right? You have the secondary market company that is trying to dip their toes into the first. So I think that as they grow and as we as a community support them, there'll be an opportunity for that to offer new stuff. They also offer some really great exclusives with, again, small makes, small vendors or designers that allow them to kind of promote the product as well, right? It's mutually beneficial. So to me, I have no issues with that, but I am curious to see what your thoughts are about that. I just think that, again, any positive influence that we can pull into the community to kind of promote it is always going to be a positive thing. And I personally really enjoy my relationship with Bladebinge. I've really enjoyed the conversations I've had with them when I met them at Blade Show and talked with them. And, I really think that they are tied with very positive people that are a very positive part of the community. That's just my 2 cents. Love to hear what you guys thought. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, a like would be appreciated. And hey, we've been talking about it. Affiliate links down in the description. If you want to use them, it'll help the channel, but that's totally up to you guys. No pressure. I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging with me today. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.